friends, welcome to the Jazz Ranch Hip Cats, Groovy Chicks, and Finger Poppin' Daddies. I'm your altered, dominant ego man. You can call him Mr. Ego if you like. And, you know, I got to tell you some stories about the KH. It's the new year now, we're celebrating, and I want to tell you about him back when he turned 18. You know, he was anxious to go to the jazz clubs in New York City because you could drink when you turned 18. You could drink at 18, you know. So anyway, he and his buddy went to New York City and took the train there. You know, they had a few bucks on them, maybe, I don't know, 25, maybe 35 bucks. That's all they had, you know. There was no credit cards back then. But anyway, they went to New York City. First place they went to was the 5 spot, and they heard Thelonious Monk with his quartet with Jimmy. Johnny Griffin was playing with him. Yeah, this was thrilling to them. I heard a jazz club, man. $2 to get in and everything. All right, they were hanging out. Then we're going to hit 3 other clubs that night. The Half Note, Birdland, you know, we're going to hit. All the clubs were happening back in those days, you know. It wasn't expensive to get in these clubs. Of course, they didn't have a lot of money. They had just a little bit. You know, with no credit cards, so they had to, like, you know, live on whatever they had. Well, they stayed in the Sloan House. That was the YMCA. You know, and you had to put the bed in front of the door at night so that nobody would come in and steal your money. Anyway, after that set, the first set, Monk played. They were going to leave and go to hear, you know, Zoot Sims at the Half Note, so they had to split. So they went out the door. You know what happened? Well, the waiter chased them out the door. And he said, you know what he said to them? He said, "Hey, you guys, this is New York City. You're supposed to tip the waiter." They didn't know. They were just kids. They didn't know. I'd never been to New York before. They didn't know the protocol. You tip the waiter. You know. He doesn't like me telling you this story, but anyway, that's the truth. Anyway, they got chased out the door. And anyway, so after that, they learned the protocol in New York City. Oh, here comes the KH. I got a split. Yep. He'll tell you the rest. Bye-bye. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Jazz Ranch, Hip Cats and Groovy Chicks. Welcome back, and Happy New Year. You know, I'm sorry about the altered, dominant ego man. You know, he cuts in on my introductions. He told that story about when we went to New York the first time. And it is true. We did walk out without tipping the waiter, and I'm embarrassed about that. But anyway, we learned after that the protocol, what you have to do when you're in New York City. Anyway, we're just kids. And it was a wonderful experience to hear Monk, and he became one of my idols early on. We went back again to New York in a couple of years, and he was playing at the new 5 spot. I got his autograph and talked to him a little bit. And then a couple of years after that, he came to Hartford with his quartet. And by that time, I had a trio, and we were the opening act for the Thelonious Monk Quartet in Hartford, outdoors in the summer. So that was quite a privilege, anyway, to do that. And, you know, back in those days, the musicians always dressed like this. So I'm trying to emulate the way they dressed back in the clubs, back in those days. And so I'm going to play a song for you this evening, one of his great compositions called Ruby, My Dear. It was written for one of his early loves, and I'm going to talk about it later on and break it down for you with some concepts of the Thelonious Monk. So here we go now with a great song by Monk called Ruby, My Dear. So basically, Monk is coming out of the Bud Powell school of playing, which is bebop, and chords were played like this. In other words, tenths and sevenths. So he would have played, and he's playing this actually on his solo recording. He's playing more like stride like this. But they're big chords. They're big as possible, and I can't play them. I mean, he probably got a chord like that. And there's a dissonance in there, maybe like this. Big, lots of notes in his chords. You know, big chords. And then that flat nine, maybe with a minor. A lot of times he's got a minor second in his voicing, you know, like where's he got it here, like up on the top like that. There's always a minor second that he's looking for, and a flat five and a flat nine. You know, like here, right? Introduction. He's got the flat nines right there. Flat nine, flat nine. He loves dissonance. And maybe you do too, so you'll love this. You'll love Monk. You'll love that dissonant sound. If I play it. Flat fives, flat nines, and minor seconds. He loved those. Now, probably one of the more signature sounds of Monk, besides the flat five and the flat nine, is his harmonizing the melody with a half step below, like this. You see, the melody note, half step below. You can still hear the melody's still clear, but it's dissonant, like, you know. Maybe this is. That's a good one. In the mid-range, it's better sounding, you know. They wouldn't use it all the time, but put it in there occasionally, you know, like maybe this would be. On that tune, I have there's the dissonance there. There's the flat five. There's the dissonance on the flat two. And there's the flat nine. You see, so we'd throw the flat nine, the flat five, and the dissonance would be half step below the melody. Those are three signature harmonic concepts of Thelonious Monk. That nobody else did that quite like he did it. Now I want to leave you with this song, Ruby My Dear, and also with Blue Monk and also Round Midnight. Those are three videos I've done on Monk, and I want you to compare all three and then write to me and tell me if you've learned something from them. And also listen to Monk, listen to his recordings. I would say get brilliant corners, but any of his recordings are great, and there's many of them on YouTube that you can listen to. So listen to him, see how it relates to your concepts and what you can learn from that, and write to me, and I'll show you more things, and I'll do more things on Monk if you like. Okay, so thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Signing off from the Jazz Ranch. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please write to me or leave a comment. I really appreciate that, and I will always respond to your comments if you give me enough time. And I will say until next time, swing loose, and we'll see you around the block. Bye-bye. Signing off from the Jazz Ranch. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please write to me or leave a comment. I really appreciate that, and I will always respond to your comments if you give me enough time. And I will say until next time,
swing loose, and we'll see you around the block. Bye-bye.